you know, my guess is that he and I may do what we're trying to do to help you a little differently, but it's the same thing. Now, I think a lot, usually people like to play games better than they like to do other things. So I'm going to suggest to him some games that some of which we talked about already, but maybe some more games too that you can do. So basically, a lot of this stuff you can learn by playing games, and that will be more fun for you. Some of the technical stuff, all right, it's little, but it's really important because it's like you're a car with a big engine with no air in your tires. Okay?
Yeah.
So your engine has to work way too hard, and your car doesn't go the way it should. So what I would do, what he will do is we're going to try to put air in your tires. You have to let us put air in your tires.
That's the part.
Okay, now, if you do things right, it's just like I ask my students all the time, would you rather have $1 today or $100 a year from now? And they all tell me pretty much they want $100 a year from now. Okay? Now, I had one kid tell me, if you give me $1 today, I'll figure out how to make it more than $100 in a year. And I said, I said, look, that's a great answer, and someday I should probably go to work for you.
Right.
But a lot of the stuff, like this stuff, Ignis, this stuff, okay, this stuff moving forward, this stuff on your backhand, it's going to feel really weird. And it's going to take a lot of repetitions and some of that weird stuff like hitting on one foot just to get him used to it, get you used to it. But if you do it, you're going to find that you're able to do things more easily than you do them now. Okay? If somebody says, okay, what does this guy need to do? I would say he needs to work on his footwork and he needs to work on his movement. What's interesting is when I had you run, you're pretty fast, but you're not disciplined. Okay? So, do you have somewhere on the bottom of this thing? Is that blue bouncy ball?
Mm.
Is it in here somewhere?
No, I didn't see it.
Here
No,
it is.
yeah.
You have one of these?
I have the
knobby one?
knobby one, yeah.
Okay, that should be his best friend.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
It's the same. Okay? These things should be your best friend. Do you have the one with two bigger knobs or all the knobs?
No, all the knobs the same.
That's the one you want.
Yeah.
That thing should be your best friend. Okay? And you don't play other sports at all?
I used to.
What did you used to play?
Soccer, baseball, and hockey.
These are all good sports. These are all good sports for tennis, too. Now, what's interesting is the muscles that when you skate, when you push off, these are really important tennis muscles. And people have told me who are, like biomechanists and neurophysiologists and guys who this is what they do. They've told me that the people who skate should have the most explosive push-off step because it's the same thing. Soccer, I'm American. I don't really even consider it a sport because if somebody throws me a ball, I catch it with my hands. But it's a great sport for tennis because it's quick movement and directional changes. Basketball, the same. So what?
I used to play basketball.
Yeah, all the footwork basketball things, all the footwork soccer things are so good for tennis. They're perfect. And baseball is perfect too because baseball is hit a ball with a stick. And I mean, the reason I can teach tennis for a living is because I started to play baseball when I was 4 years old. Okay? That's where I developed eye-hand coordination. I mean, all these hit a ball with a stick games are kind of the same on some level. Does that make sense? So then the other question is, all right, right now you're not a bad tennis player. To be good, you're going to have to work, all right? But here's the deal. Tennis is interesting. It's like a lot of other things, but maybe more than almost anything. The better you get at it, the more fun it is, all right? And I mean, part of what makes me crazy is I'm not physically myself, and I can't even do things I can do. But, my best tennis is probably behind me, but I'm going to get this thing fixed. And because I have kids. I have a kid who's top 20 in the 14s. I have a kid who's top 30 in the 14s. And when I'm healthy, I can just beat him up. I had a kid who was top 15 nationally in the 12s a year ago. I could beat him up. Right now, I can't beat any of these people up. I have to let them beat each other up, and it's frustrating. All right, and someday I won't be able to beat these people up. They'll be, you know, I don't want, by the time they're like second year 14s, turning 15, I don't want to, if I can beat them up still,
This is an issue.
yeah.
Yep.
You have questions. I mean, so there's just two questions. Can you do this stuff? Yes. Do you want to do this stuff? Maybe. Okay? You have to figure it out.
Okay.
All right? He can't make you do it. I can't make you do it.
That's the part that don't forget.
Yeah. See, this is the other thing, too. Is
And he heard that before.
Yeah,
he
I'm
heard
sure.
that before. So.
I'm sure he did. There's a lot of coaches who all they do is they yell at people and they make them run a lot. I think those are the two easiest things in the world to do. Now, the problem is you can get somebody to do stuff that way, but sooner or later as a coach, you're not going to be there. Sooner or later as a coach, you can't watch somebody every second. You turn your head. You're on your own. So, you know, it's what you do when nobody's around that matters. All right? Does that make sense? Because I see guys, I get them to work with me. They're pretty good, and I see them playing with their buddies, and they're standing in one place hitting every ball as hard as they can. Now, for you, that might not be a bad thing if you hit every ball as hard as you could. I don't know about the standing in one place. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Help me get these things up. I got to figure out how to get